Have you ever been the responsible one in your family? The one they count on, the one who always does the right thing, the one who quietly sacrifices so everyone else can be comfortable? For 3 years, that was me. During a family visit, my 12-year-old daughter found a hidden door in my parents' basement. What we found inside wasn't just a secret. It was a 3-year lie that cost me $72,000. I didn't scream. I didn't cry. I took a few photos and made a phone call. 3 days later, my parents got a certified letter, and then they started screaming. My name is Sarah, and this is the story of how I took back my life, one lie at a time. The hidden door visiting my parents is exhausting. It's like stepping into a time capsule where you're instantly 10 years younger in all the worst ways. The wallpaper is the same faded floral pattern from my childhood, a silent testament to how little things have changed. So, I packed up my 12-year-old Lucy and made the obligatory drive. After a forgettable lunch, Lucy, bored out of her mind, disappeared. A few minutes later, she was back in the kitchen doorway, her eyes wide. "You need to come with me," she whispered, glancing towards the living room. "Don't tell them. Just come." Intrigued, I followed her down to the dusty, forgotten basement. She weaved between stacks of old boxes to the far wall, where an old shelving unit stood. With a determined shove, she slid it aside, revealing a narrow, hidden door. The latch was new, shiny, and out-of-place dot. She flicked it open, and the air that hit us was a physical blow. Hot, thick, and heavy with a sweet chemical smell that clung to our skin. Inside the dark room, a low, mechanical hum vibrated through the floor, punctuated by the slow, rhythmic drip of water. I stepped inside, my shoes sticking slightly to the floor. My heart was pounding, a cold dread creeping up my spine. This was wrong, all of it. The lie growing up, I was the responsible one. That's the label your parents give you when they want you to pay for your own things. My younger sister, on the other hand, got treats, trips, and a free pass on responsibility. The pattern was set early. For me, lectures about saving. For her, whatever she wanted. 3 years ago, my dad got sick. Or so I was told. They didn't have proper health insurance, and the treatment was expensive. My mom sounded so worried on the phone. I had just gotten a promotion, and for the first time, I had a little extra money, so I did what the responsible one does. I started sending them $2,000 a month, every single month. For 3 years, that was all my spare cash. I gave up any dream of buying a house. I told Lucy we couldn't afford vacations. I believed I was keeping my dad alive. The spa back in that hot, dark room, my hand found a light switch. I flipped it on. For a second, my brain refused to process what my eyes were seeing. In the middle of the room, a state-of-the-art hot tub bubbled lazily. In the corner, a glass-walled sauna glowed with the kind of golden light you see in luxury. Spa brochures. Shelves along the wall were stacked with fluffy white towels and neat rows of expensive oils, bath salts, and champagne. Real champagne. 3 years. $72,000. I saw it all in a flash. The rent I'd paid instead of saving for a mortgage. The trips I told my daughter we couldn't afford. The life I'd put on hold. All while they were down here, soaking in eucalyptus steam and sipping bubbly from crystal flutes. It wasn't just a spa. It was a monument to their lies. I took a few quick, steady photos with my phone, and then we left, sliding the shelf back into place like we were covering a crime scene. When we got back to the kitchen, I told my parents we had to leave. "Everything all right?" My dad asked, muting the TV. "Fine," I said, the words scraping my throat on the way out. The drive home was silent. That night, I couldn't sleep. The next morning, the anger had settled into a cold, clear plan. I called an old family friend, Mark. "Hey, Mark," I said, "Dad's been unwell the last few years, right? There was a short laugh on the other end. Unmo? Sarah, we ran a half marathon together in April. He beat me by 10 minutes. He went on, they've been living it up. Hawaii. The wine country weekend, that spa resort up north. Wait, you didn't know? No, I said, my voice sharp. I didn't. The letter by that afternoon, I had a folder on my desktop labeled Evidence. Screenshots of their vacations, copies of messages. Asking for treatment money and the photos from the basement. The next morning, I called a lawyer. I told her everything. An hour later, she called back. You have a clear fraud case, she said. I can draft a demand letter. If they don't respond, we escalate. Do it, I said. The letter was short, clinical, and ice cold. It demanded the immediate repayment of $72,000 within 14 days, with all the evidence attached. We sent it by certified mail and email. 3 days after I found the hidden room, it was on their doorstep. My phone rang almost immediately. You've lost your mind, my mom snapped. How could you do this to your own parents? Easily, I replied. You gave us that money because you wanted to. You told me it was for Dad's treatment, I said. So either you were lying then or you're lying now. Show me the diagnosis. Show me the bills. Silence. You're supposed to trust us. We're your parents. Trust went out the window 3 days ago, I said. If you won't make this right, I'll have the police handle it. And I hung up. The fallout, the calls and voicemails flooded in. Mom, Dad, my sister. The message was always the same. You're tearing the family apart. They fought it, of course. They said it was a misunderstanding. But with the threat of criminal charges hanging over them, they had a simple choice. Repay me in full or face the consequences. They chose repayment. The money would come from selling the house, spa included. Several months later, the sale closed. The repayment came through. When the transfer for $58,000 hit my account, I just stared at the number. I thought I would feel triumphant. Instead, I just felt done. The rest of the money, $14,000, would come in monthly installments of $500, wired directly into my account on the first of the month. A constant reminder of their debt. My parents now live in a small 2-bedroom rental on the edge of town. My dad works as a greeter at the hardware store. My sister has a full-time job she hates. They're comfortable, subsidized life is over, and me, that money they stole, I used it as a down payment on a house. A real home with a little backyard for Lucy. A home I paid for with my own hard work, not with lies. The day we moved in, my daughter stood in the empty living room and grinned. This is ours, she said, like she couldn't believe it. Neither could I. Sometimes being the responsible one means holding people accountable, even if it's your own family. So let me know in the comments. Did I go too far, or was this justice long overdue? And if you want to hear more stories like this, don't forget to subscribe.